All right, it's here for Mamunyana Kwaba once again about if it can say so pinaxtv. So currently there is a news Betuja. Most of us were anticipating this particular news for some time now, but we never knew that justice was going to come. But even though justice has come, no, there are a lot of people who also feel that this particular form of justice, no, is either too lenient or perhaps no, it isn't even necessary or up to the task and up to the crime which has been committed in this case. Last 2 months, and they update Abraham was a Salifu Amoako, the 16-year-old son, Elrad, information about and he said not all drive a car per what we saw in the CCTV footage intersection. No, he failed to put a brake and I failed to stop or halt the car and it say Kabia a park one intersection where now is all trail left and trail right now one make it a turn and a young boy already 16 years or the car no rame or mumu, and in that particular car it had 4 occupants. Now 2 were in the front seat, 1 was the driver and 1 was the passenger in the front seat, and the other 2 where people are now on wage, but unfortunately, other 3 new wage, but unfortunately, a 16-year-old boy, the car, Salifu Amoako ban, and the car, a bomb, dear, a pin them against a wall. Omo nim ne dear, omutiminya, omuti di diemu, epi in tem, and unfortunately, those at the back on the back open it me pier. The akana no mushich, they were trapped because their legs were, glued to the metal, and I say seat, or monai chassis, so they couldn't even pull them out, and even aside from that crown eja s0n tokan so fire engulf both cars eja to Salifu Amoako ne car and in the back car no Jaguar na all drive, and also eja to car na victim yi na omuwo together with the driver and also 2, but 3 of them were able to escape. Now 2 mintima escape, as you are seeing mona I just say car ne share they lost their life a very tragic incident as also ya rebels. Personally, we went there to console with the family, and what you are seeing are live scenes. Now, a year issue we see, all eyes was on say, will justice prevail? And I said, well, the government of Ghana or perhaps the prosecution and the law take its course. And finally, even though Salifu Amoako ban no hospital, eventually, court Emma order say ma all this while he's been in police custody. But that's sorry update Eba party says Salifu Amoako, the 16-year-old, he has been sentenced. Now there is a twist to this because this particular sentence in Eba, there are a lot of people who are talking about this particular issue, and there are a lot of people too are not really happy about the outcome of this particular issue. But some saying which kind of justice is this? Because apparently, the Abrant it deserves more than that. Especially, we share the fact say now we young boys who a year to be a workers way, they give them almost life imprisonment. So it is really shocking. Say we will be getting such a sentences. Now you're going into the sentence, now at the end of the day, you share a year in some fee a year one more or mobile could dim or a woof or muso or more than same baby to just said this is in fact they said they were happy, but then 6 months is just too small. That is what some people are saying. So let's just break it down and let's even start with what really happened. Now, according to the courts, Accra High Court, and also what really happened today, now more parts of the family and juvenile court or how any other some no after they asked the 16-year-old boy, Elra said, is he guilty or not? And now Odi said he's guilty on all the 8 counts. So according to what we are learning, the family and the juvenile court in Accra today, or my sentence because what pleaded guilty to all the 8 counts, or my sentence a 16-year-old boy, Salifu Amoako 16-year-old son, or my sentence to a 6 months at the senior correctional center, a bra or then a can ekuku in Bofra, maybe 12 years each. Now, what we are learning is initially, Bofra he pleaded not guilty, and per what the family was saying to the party say even Oba, a bra, a friend is saying, Salifu Amoako ne ban eba court first. All this while he was pleading not guilty to the sense of Papa Efa lawyers baku miensa. On all of these lawyers were basically into kind of protect and as a kind of shield a potential damaging sentence and kebekwama Salifu Amoako ne ba no, and ultimately and mobile year prosecution no it me gather all the facts no and abrantie no and as a 16-year-old boy and air party say he is not going to plead not guilty. He's going to plead guilty because at the end of the day, you know, Kamiako say the evidence in this particular case was so much overwhelming. So based on all the aforementioned, on let's say court shimo no na court air party say okay, say abrantie no de wa ye no we who say okay we kunipa. And then he's also admitted say he has apparently killed 2 people who are innocent there. And yeah, the law in this particular case is not to say you destroy people or do anything bad, but then at the end of the day it's just to correct the person until we know who they are. Then at the end of the day the sentence is going to be somewhere 6 months. Now let me further go on and give the details of this. Now according to more of what is really coming Nipa presiding over the case Judge Bernice Mensima Aiken and now in same way etuja or party say abrantie an 16-year-old boy say on wankasa so a guilty needy, then he is convicted basically on his own plea and based on a year that's the Juvenile Justice Act 2003 Act 653 party say if somebody basically okay he wants to convict based on his own plea and as also a guilty there, then the maximum the maximum punishment a 6 month sentence. 10 years 6 month sentence. 6 months you say calculate pa the infant December you create their channel by July a branch no sound so back. Now that was not the only thing that happened. As part of the sentencing to the juvenile must sign undertaking not to drive until he turns 18. This guy shouldn't be allowed to drive. This guy shouldn't be allowed to drive for the rest of his life. What you are saying? So as part of the sentence, the juvenile, Salifu Amoako ne ba no, and what's our driving car till he's 18 years, which is the legal age limit. And aside from that too, he is also required to report to probation officers every Friday. Now the court also fined the boy's parents Salifu Amoako and then they remove her. You're finding each individual 12,000 cedis for failing to properly control their son, because all of these things said beauty be America. Social media and that's only ya no member chat here and media you can't touch my son, you can't talk to my son anyhow. You are destroying your child. If this boy was 18 years, he would have been life in a sentence by life in jail until failing to control your son and then we are back. So the court is saying it's necessarily for Amoako both of them failed to control their son at the end of the day as the TC I was so munya 12,000 Ghana cedis for failing for failing to properly control their son. Also they are required to sign an undertaking to ensure say Salifu Amoako ne ba 16-year-old onyi ni etete ne betete ne ye ewo kwan paso. Additionally, Bishop Salifu Amoako say on Samsung tua a total of 8,000 Ghana cedis because ebra the bano edeka ne ko rampe ramming into this particular security post and also light pole a sale property. So yes, so 8,000 Ghana cedis to damage this part to rectify this particular damage. Ne bane can a boss a light pole no SS and yemano ongo chani intimi FNCC. Aside from that, to the prosecution case which was led by Assistant State Attorney Ebenezer Akwa, or outlining the sequence of events which led to the crash. And I to just say okay. Even though Abofre Ayekana only 18 years the parents allowed him to drive. That is number one on several occasions. And on that particular day, the October 12, 2024, now it is a Ninya Penny Aiding birthday East Legon, okay, event center or East Legon. Intia and during the party catch a housemaid and a personal assistant to Ninya Bema Penny Odini birthday ni say on fa car keys ni mano ne ma car keys ni man na onko yi your friend is saying adie car ni ko yi atade so ko change and a lender edi key ni man because nipa or yes assistant friend lender bunsu bempa and a ode a car key ni man say abrantie na tu car no and then down for ko see more or more ban or more races and only the convoy and only the convoy and convoy na only and a yinim the see ya It's so sad. Car no a tifa so at the end of the day no sa convoy bi ana sorry na car na apaki we ni mu ana sabi omu nyina nkwala ni nyina gu mu no e na Salifu Amoako ba na only the convoy no this car no eko boom. You should know that particular intersection no T junction, okay? Oh, I've gone there since the issue happened. T junction, so that particular T junction no so make it a 10, you have to really slow down. So that's exactly what really happened. It's a normal way make it a 10 or may slow down. They were in station mode and a brand only the convoy or the car na ebe bomb at Torrentum s0n. Now this collision it was so violent and destructive. This is the prosecution almost to the extent some parties say this whole collision, it was so violent and destructive to the sense that both vehicles a pager because Salifu Amoako car no ball car na friendly team no car no ball electricity pole na ball any jatomu. I just say a soccer anymore. Both cars no they caught fire immediately. At the end of the day, it me ebi mutimi pie. A boy no cry, share video no cry na or no cry yanko pompo and no don't know timinya kudru PS na down for being a chini PS na enya sem ketwa. So based on all that aforementioned, car ne pim sana. Ono down for need to pay ya ono su timi bo ani yi Salifu Amoako ni ba ni pay ya other two girls no bystanders timi ku yomu pay en eka two people at the back based on say car ne boy ya omo nan ko share seat na timi ntimi yomu at that same instance na eja to car nim and it just sabi the BC so a very certain now no de so boy ya dia bo Salifu Amoako ba 16-year-old no say Yamana 6 months maximum enye asem. So that's exactly what is really going on. It is a udwen hokra won't say say yes so sad issue. Now in some way by the parents okay edin simbi ababe tuja they've also reacted to the issue, what they are thinking about it, and also how they see all this particular issue. You could see what they really said. When we come back we continue.
Parents now also they've been depression or medications, only driving license for 16 years. Money cannot. Next of all, let's say when I was said this is one of them. If it's a man, I say this is one of them.
And it's in a court no action or so I'm fine, say, or Muntia. Sans or mom play on Muru, I say.
A panel, so I can't assume a driver without license. The boy, and the video speak around. Or driver unregistered vehicles, or driver without license. What on one of them? On one should be a mistake. On one should be a mistake. What's the apple and one teaching?
Yeah, sure, sir.
I saw for me. No way, I suffer. I suffer company. Or banks is always suffer. Yes, suffer papa. Suffer company. Yes, that's it. What's on your guilty? That's only we are this in a social media. That's a one person who needs a man. And now money per life. That's on your guilty. So all the 8 charges on your guilty, including driving without license. So on your guilty. What can you do?
Yes, just any now could be what's I
said, I mean, Saturday, prosecutor was able to gather evidence. It's actually by now the depth of the evidence. They had no choice than to make a U-turn and to plead guilty. Since I from a post, you can talk about no experience. No experience. for this board plead not guilty. Na tell them who say evidence no. When you idea they say, break me I won't be here. Then he made a U-turn.
Mo as family no kwan a ye fa so bi asem ni tentem no mo hu ni say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the juvenile system no. Say yeah, let's say a children shop 6 months and yes, 7 no. I said no. Salifu Amoako any Lebanese said group I said more as a one time. The mom could say
the mouth shed.
So that is exactly what really happened. I just say a impact. So the parents of a young woman, I just say no media for new casting on more patches say I so sad the turn of events and I see ICRC, and then to say according to them, the case need the send you didn't intend them so they basically they've come to a closure. You see at least 6 months admit said your year and so they are really okay with how the case was fast tracked. And also in regards to the sentence, so say they wanted more time after 6 months on case it will die because already 16. So after 6 months, the case, basically, it will have to be annulled, and I say, or say a trashy case, and even far from that, a brandy and an 16-year-old guy and Salifu Amoako bana dealing for 6 months. According to the family of the victims, that is the maximum amount of years, months. I beat media or more. So basically, there's really nothing that they can do much at this. It is definitely a very, very, very sad story. So. I don't know how you want to take it and how you take it, but this is exactly what is really happening. To say, as if me part, to say, will be a comment to say, retrial. Beatrice said they should go for a retrial. I don't know how retrial is going to work, but then currently, Asema Wahon is a 16-year-old boy, Salifu Amoako, what we are learning is that he's been jailed for 6 months, and even far from that, to what we are also learning is that Salifu Amoako, Nebano Oman lawyers Bako 6 lawyers. Can you imagine? According to a family of the victim, these 6 lawyers were basically high-powered attorneys. Basically, they were aimed and also powered to kind of make sure Salifu Amoako he either gets out of jail or gets no sentence or gets minimal sentence. And unfortunately, they have succeeded as such. They've succeeded in making sure that Salifu Amoako sentence in here. They say 6 months. The Asanso juvenile is more like Odi abofra at boarding. Go juvenile center hono obe di free. Ye obesan switch and the obesan scrap or basketball. But one other thing which also happened during the the court proceedings, what came to light and the argument of a Salifu Amoako, the banning lawyers or more patches abofra over depression. Tini abofra with depression or I say on one case no really seen, and I don't blame any person because a suspect one more bane na or mame bako or the two just say you see this I don't want to say this what happen if you marry a Lebanese, but part just say they feel to basically say or meeting or mobano and Salifu Amoako definitely yes wako worry Lebanese if and moha and yaji abofra so sad and said the abofra on na moye no kukuti cashew nti and a share and then okukum microphone unity according to a yes Salifu Amoako ne band lawyers no party say abofra depression and na say ebu e kana na say why basa ni adinti say oye bibi ko hu dia oye and apparently anyway, I could see it is a very, very, very sad thing. But then, 24th justice delayed is justice denied, and definitely something has really happened. That is at the end of the day, the TBR in the sentence because we say even though a young guy, he might be 25 years and now 45 years, be very nice. What I say, but then laws need patches say, oh, you below 18 years, what's 16 years. I said, yo, ye biano. Sebiu na adwini swa nti subo kese no ene ye de akọ subo kese no ekwa ma eye ni parents no ene ye se omuntua eye 12,000 Ghana cedi. But then me bisa o car na ehye ye no eye the other car share, which is the Akura, no. And no won't a Salifu Amoako pay because no, I didn't hear anything about that. I heard say obituary 8,000 Ghana cedis to pay for the electric poor or damage, you know, and also a year ram into this particular a year. What do you call it? The security post, no. As you are seeing this, no, say whole near there. So, or best of it, and also be to car for sad damages, no, and also be to a little bit of compensation. But then for the car, no, I don't know how or be provided, and I say maybe insurance company will take care of the car. Definitely, maybe insurance will take care of the car. So, this is a very sad thing, and as a DAC, at the end of the day, it's a Ojo Hokra on TRCM. You need the indemnity, definitely the BCB a bit more update. But then, yeah, quite for us, no, Minoka say a year. The failed and I say the loser of the 2024 general elections, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he is again talking now. It's funny how money can really change people, because 1 minute ago this man was opening and cutting sword for every digitalization project in Ghana. And you sorry, and you could digitalization tree. Oh sorry, and now you could not trouble near kati any digitalization trouble in Kwasiasem. And I say, Omuti Krumo and you're ignoring the plight of people. Now they were so sure, and people were so sure they were going to win the election one touch. I just said, Omadren, maybe the election until they were handed over a big defeat at the just ended December 7th election. Now, after the December 7th election, you know, we are seeing say MPP4 automatically, you know, Omenya Krama home brasi and in a Poko parliament and he said Gunichi say as a schoolboy. Now it's you see how Obebron once the it won't do anything because Ghana for you who ukukuti, you know. MICIS we are fire 100. But then Bawumia really considered on that fateful day a year elections no course. So the next day, you know, realized that's the 8th of December, which was a Sunday. I realized results now urban, it was not going to be in his favor. And for the first time after that particular year results, you know, for the first time after that particular results, you know, for the first time after that particular results, no, Dr. Bawumia Menoka saying or the same Tuja, he is actually breaking silence or blaming certain media organizations in Ghana, key media organization, for causing this defeat. One case is because of economic hardship. One case is because of MPP4 failed governance. One case is because of corruption. He is blaming the media. So the media did propaganda on their parts. What really did happen, and I somebody to definitely people are saying about me, please come again. Propaganda bang. Which kind of propaganda are you talking about? You guys we just failed. For the first time ever after this whole election, so Dr. Bawumia is out here talking and he is blaming the media.
It was a big disappointment. There's no doubt about it when the results came. Why was it a disappointment? Because all the work we had done was pointing to the fact that we would win this election. There was clear evidence on the ground as we went to all the 276 constituencies. It was clear that, we were going to do well. But on the day of the election, something was amiss. Turnout was so low. And everybody was wondering what was happening. Why? Where are people? And that was from Axim all the way to Zebla. The whole country. What is going on? No, where are people? It turned out that 2.1 million of us decided to stay. Yento. That was and it's almost as if they had a meeting and decided on the message. The same message. No matter which constituency you went to, they will tell you they were not voting. So at least we know where the problem is. To solve a problem, you have to know what it is. So our people didn't vote. That was the problem. The question now is why they didn't vote. That is the question. And that is a research question we are going to answer now. Thankfully, it's not guesswork. We know all the individuals who did not vote in every polling station. So it's not guesswork. So the research is going to speak to them, individual by individual, polling station by polling, to get a sense of why they did not vote. That can only be the basis on which we can go forward. Otherwise, it will be guesswork. It will be guesswork. I must say, like I said, we worked very hard in the campaign. I must tell you that I'm very proud of the communication team. Very, 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 very proud. You know, we did very well. You did an excellent job. I must congratulate you. We dominated the NDC in social media. I mean, by far, very, very clearly. And we were working against their ownership of or support from key media houses, isn't it? Yeah. You know, so which put that as a disadvantage in many ways in terms of the communication field, because we had a lot of these key media houses who were not on our side. And so we had to, but you fought very hard every time you had the opportunity. I've been following the communications very closely over the campaign because I wanted to know how things were going across the space. So now we are in opposition.
So that was exactly what Dr. Mahamudu Baumia Odituja clearly, you know, you could see say basically, you know, in Sema Odituja no patch say yes, election in the Amoako, so no be beka say honorable warrior no marry. But then based on all the aforementioned any almost so groundwork on my no be say key media houses. I mean Bomudi number 1 Onuya TV. Number 2 TV3. Number 3, pinaxtv. Ena de bia bawumia se will be takra bawumia. Meanwhile, as a omonye bibia to say eye boni. So at the end of the day, they put a certain fear in people. Say, hey, sankofu ko to amomo. Hey, sankofu bi na asa ko to amomo. We mu omonye papa we inti ehu a ekoshe nkofu mu no. Ana man forecast say hwe. Yen koye sa mistake ni bi mu yen koto. Ena edi ehu ehye nkofom ti the day of the elections no anka wo so omo make a difference etifo ye hwehwe MPP voters ayehu. They were searching for MPP voters across board. They were not seeing a MPP voters. Adanya MPP voters ya ka chom se wunim na ko votima amamu boni bi se ya nyankopon bi tua oka. Ena ayemhihye ene eye propaganda ena NDC for year ya na tese omudi wini eye election na utie insema eye Dr. Baumia esanso ekato aswa. He further went on to say you know omu voters 2.1 million did not vote. 2.1 million of the voters did not vote. Until if you do that math very well, now just 2.1 million of the voters didn't vote. Now at the end of the day, no, omu nyina tinifi no. At the end yeah, I just say amo omu answer that in winning elections no. Now at the end of the day, no, or see the communication team no tax omu immediately after this particular election. Say you guys should get out and give me answers. And the answers number. Answers in the by and party say some key media organizations a Ghana has seen omo and asebi omo they went into bed with the National Democratic Congress to do mischievous propaganda, cheap propaganda. So at the end of the day, basically, they can do whatever they want to do and make sure say MPP and the New Patriotic Party, just they will lose the elections. Or sure asifimi party say this is exactly what is really happening. For those of you are tie in sama Dr. Baumia Edutuja yenku tie because ashini ye pa. And now there are questions which are coming in. Is he going to even run again? Are we going to see Dr. Baumia on the campaign trail again? Would he run again or not? But then we should see some Dennis Miracles Edutuja party say it is a conversation for another day. Okay, it is a conversation for another day, and one of these days they will actually talk about it because Baumia is in high hopes and then they are sure say he may run back in 2028 again.
It was a big disappointment.
Hello, 1 2.
There's no doubt about it when the results came. Why was it a disappointment? Because all the work, it was a big disappointment. There's no doubt about it. When the results came, why was it a disappointment? Because all the work we had done was pointing to the fact that we would win this election. There was clear evidence on the ground as we went to all the 276 constituencies. It was clear that, we were going to do well. But on the day of the election, something was amiss. Turnout was so low, and everybody was wondering what was happening. Why? Where are people? And that was from Axim all the way to Zebla. The whole country. What is going on? No, where are people? It turned out that 2.1 million of us decided to stay. Yento. That was and it's almost as if they had a meeting and decided on the message. The same message. No matter which constituency you went to, they will tell you they were not voting. So at least we know where the problem is. To solve a problem, you have to know what it is. So our people didn't vote. That was the problem. The question now is why they didn't vote. That is the question. And that is a research question we are going to answer now. Thankfully, it's not guesswork. We know all the individuals who did not vote in every polling station. So it's not guesswork. So the research is going to speak to them, individual by individual, polling station by polling, to get a sense of why they did not vote. That can only be the basis on which we can go forward. Otherwise, it will be guesswork. It will be guesswork. I must say, like I said, we worked very hard in the campaign. I must tell you that I'm very proud of the communication team. Very, 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 very proud. We did very well. You did an excellent job. I must congratulate you. We dominated the NDC in social media. By far, very, very clearly. And we were working against their ownership of or support from key media houses, isn't it? So which put that at a disadvantage in many ways in terms of the communication field, because we had a lot of these key media houses who were not on our side, and so we had to. But you fought very hard at the time you had the opportunity. I've been following the communications very closely over the campaign because I wanted to know how things were going across the space. So now we are in opposition.
So that's exactly what is really going on. Now, moving on to another particular issue. And also, it is really trending on social media. This has to do with Yankasa Bema Kwame A+. Now, Kwame A+, for those of you who don't know, he is the new member of parliament for Gumua Central. He won, okay? Bra NPP for NDC for Biakoye, A+ said he is going to stand in as an independent candidate. An independent candidate now, just say he stood on that particular grounds when Yankopon and charge A+ it's winning fair. But then A+, immediately after he won the elections, on the way candidate said this particular MPP party say egu and I say egua nipa ede subo ebe bono no nipa ba akupe, and that person is President Akufo-Addo. Now A+ has made a whole lot of pronouncements in the past, but this particular pronouncement what be making it has really shocked a lot of people. Now in that sorry A+ the name be brave akoto in two folds. Number one, according to A+, MPP for started so Ghana realize na say doom so started ba one new doom light timi doom be 10 ya so ne be ahomati 2-3 and timi doom be 7-8 ya so ne be 2-1 and ahomati 2 timi doom na pe ya so ne numere. So as a obi communicating show say doom so any doom so na say ECG honom even though a cover wha and can was here solving MPP fund solve it, and the whole plan is to make sure say ECG will be deteriorated. You best say bibi was say be a GM ba doom so ne betimi da ayeden achiche ne kon ene ni ahya ase ene aka a Christian council no ma beka Mahama has brought doom so back in kwasi asem sa no mudi tikrum hasi ena A+ ene sansem we nyina akotuja but then A+ so aka nsem e wo ho se sisia no Ghana Revenue Authority omudi nsem aba betuja se next NDC administration no, they've brought out a statement say they want to kill the e-levy bill, they want to kill the e-levy bill, they want to kill the COVID-19 levy, and all of these taxes are aye kwanko Ghana for so and A+ raise a certain sentiment and a similar sentiment to what the Ghana Revenue Authority say he raise all of these taxes are Ghana in a tune of almost $6.4 billion annually and A+ adding simbi ababe tuja. Now let's put this on the screens, okay? Share the idea two screens away and some A+ tuja. This is just one of the first half that A+ posted. A+ posted say this is absolutely true. So basically, he was posting in regards to a particular reporter, if he Manjoy and sorry City News or Airbar, describing the e-levy. I think we also have to put that on tracking to be at the end of the screen. So it was basically talking about the e-levy and how this particular e-levy, if you are, it is really going to affect Ghana revenue because Ghana Revenue Authority so far no master there's no money in the system, there's no money anywhere. You know, sa e-levy ni ne kitten na say yetim teachers for the nurses for. Look at this. Also, scribing e-levy COVID-19 tax could cost Ghana 6.4 billion cedis, not dollars, in revenue. This is coming from the Ghana Revenue Authority. So if it ni latte. So basically that is it. So this what is really coming in from the Ghana Revenue Authority. This particular report, if you are City News. Now a A+, let me tell you the secret of this particular thing. And A+, let me post a lengthy thing on social media. Now let's read this. I'll say this is absolutely true. Okay. What is also undeniable is that if we can put an end to the gold smuggling, particularly the gold smuggled through clandestine networks to places like the United Arab Emirates, we will generate so much revenue that there will be no need to burden our citizens with taxes. Okay, there will be no need to burden our citizens with taxes on remittances sent to their families in rural areas. Between 2019 and 2021, Ghana reportedly lost approximately 1.1 billion in revenue from gold exports. Many of us are familiar with Al Jazeera's gold mafia documentary, where Alista Matthias, a Canadian citizen, claimed to smuggle around 40 million worth of gold out of Ghana every month on behalf of high-level state actors. Similarly, the British government estimates that Ghana loses about 2 billion annually due to tax evasion, smuggling, and illegal gold operations. So A+ course na all say, you know, based on all the affirmations aforementioned, if at the end of the day we are losing so much money, say a burden your crew phone with taxes I didn't even focus on gold because according to him, no, the United States I estimate say every year be a Ghana boka $1.1 billion because of gold smuggling. And even aside from that too, the UK government so at the report be about say every year be a Ghana boka almost $2 billion due to gold smuggling and illegal gold mining and also tax evasion. So basically that is an answer. So Niensha in Sema or the Tuja Ewa Hase. Also in 2022 alone, nearly 60 tons of gold were reportedly smuggled out of the country, deepening our financial losses. It is time to stop burdening the poor. A country blessed with such abundant resources does not need to rely on harmful taxes for development. God has provided Ghana with more than enough. What we truly need is to put our minds to work. The human brain is not pay per use, it's free. Let us use it wisely and to the glory of our Maker. So A+ really posted this. He was citing a similar remarks are not air. This particular remarks, no, it had to do with in summer na air so basically about how Ghana economic system any how a GRE for any report about to say 11 you trim say Kim and you who say combat there because in can be a fee bia na sa 11 ya na sebu itimidi bitua fees. Sa 11 ya na itimidi be free SHS. So I say 11 no, it is a abey maybe a boy. So if you are removing these kind of taxes, at the end of the day, definitely you want to subsidize and put something there. At the end of the day, you could bitimi enya. But if you wanna, there's no source of income, and you are coming into a government basically a shallow. So this is exactly what is really going on. But before then, you could see A+ in Sema or Sansu Tuja in a separate filing.
Ewe drobi a auto a opese na bra boy simple nti sika koto aban bond na so wo se on 2035 na owu ana sede
in the summer rabbit
zani ebu man se mintua asem what be that
it's never happened though
na wo akufuado wo na wo fi aban mu na wo esgracia ye ka se apodi akoye we ni ase yetua ka wo ebe ye wo de na nipa tumi tene wi ase sa dream mu be fi ban bi I was saying people for me demonstrate. I could for the cross over in a different party. I was saying people for it to me chance as a party, no because I could for be a unity. Because we good party, no. Yeah, the parties are shown so we go no. Obi oto about be against Dr. Bamia or Yakufu Aduntia. I know the man about call the way I call it. MPP for a year, you might ba no. Omusika wo hobby.
Yeah.
Banks ya mo begu nyanko fo sika koke mu bebre. And you NDC for one for party card here. Your good bank now it affects everybody. So how? It's not home some year campaign. I was wondering how do they think they're going to win this election?
Stay on the man. Stay on the man.
How?
Stay on the Sisifia campaign.
How? One can say members of parliament, not parliament, you know. A demonstration or parliament say omo pe finance minister no so obi aboye nti obi a na Ghana wo dia party no wo dia na akufo do ka say no obi esu the whole party MPP na ombenya no omenya no party kese say mi nyam so nipa ba
na de show gbe ma ni party no
adentia na yen na ye beka bi no ye ka
bidu atem
ombedi atem na nka wo ma mesika akoka Bank of Ghana say he bonds mu a nka we be o de o mind be a sika COVID time. A mind be you so COVID e sika. Ghana nkwade e kofa ala tani betina ha. Na obegigi sika wo ye airport.
Bitwe bi.
No guti enya bi. Ministry of Health enya bi. Ebegigi sika wo ye airport. Na odi ko odi ku.
Twa hende he.
Omo chedi ye wie ye no. Na akufo ado sign dane no ho. COVID levy beto wo say sika no me dey am nkofo bi agye ba mu mesan agye mu be tua bi mu
oni dey shame crown free water and light no
me ka ba ho o ma free water no so o ma free ye to abani wi ye
yes
no dey taxes by or the beteneka bibi en ye free na MPP foi Ghana haba to say ye hu we interest MPP o mo power ya me hu se nkofo ka say MPP on member power 100 years they say 2016 into MPP nia Ghana here a strong opposition mon come on starting come on me minchi obi a o me mintan obi a minchi obi a mon come on mon reorganize na mon start and prepare mo but mon fa we ensu ade e na ye bobo e wo England a we say we be say no twa better o say man bi na mfa nkobu man ade anyankopon de ache o man we just akwara ko twa bet na eno no wuti sika no akwara no no wuti ne directly like enye say bi a wo the tax bi abora wo koto pure water that's why we odi sika na no
waje ode
what bet company no wo je ne tax o akwara na onye adwuma ye no twa bet no ya kakra no o se me just me uma me bi na me kobu man
when transfer return is can so certain
when try
so this can to
so when can
na adwa sesa
on try return is can na and so yes certain no youth no all the way youth no to abeti a omo no youth no na asa obi send this kakra akoma ne maame e wo akura ase anaso send this ka o se just o ma bibi e na metumi di abu man Ghana nke ni se age tax kra o man mu ha nyoma yankopon dia chain sa o man we nyoma no do so a se ne Saudi Arabia omo oil na ukọ ware ani ama ofie ni ama osika ni ama oka se je kọ ware sa na nko se Ghana ye Ghana nko se ye level to sa adehye obi send this ka man maame ana send this ka mo se je se o ma bibi ansa wa send this ka na me bebu man oji e-levy omu wiye no onzo wa say youth no hono wa say no because boy bi o twa bet bi aso wo ge enti youth no hono eno no na dada no emi one was MPP4 who did free education coalition 2020 ka de na ulusi e osan de about 2024 enti no e ka youth no de na asai there was no way na youth no beto abama omo enti na company for no e penny for no so middle class for na woman no yet your mem had who say former chief justice Gina Bonten say or Genesika wa aban ho nkrofo omoni akoto aban bonds say me edwuma me ye misika me a me dia ma aban say da achi me emfaso beba ho no magina me atoto me ndro ni ade akufo ado se me ntua so wo pese uji usika so a meti no mama oni ame mepe force ti me ma haircut me na nyese bia me de ye NDC for nkwan o nyese bia wo ba wo party card betira na yae o ye de ye obi including obi chief justice ofi eduma mu a nisika kakra obo ano de court government board na ogina kwan ho ma me pani o hwe nisika na se so for akufu anto aba ma na aka hwan
honorable my own problem can you know the sad part about the bonds now can I think just before Mube Sadia no a finance minister Beka say it happened that there's a video say what speculation say haircut MAC that
there will be no haircut
yes
na say president never
you know what say youth no hono as a problem ho na wasan ba middle class and penifo na almost no also what be your haircut omo bonds no wontumi ntwan a ye betua mo ye be discount ye be mo haircut ni etua na o man kasa o ma fechi no ma san ato adwen boni si
2035 and say they will see
omo wie no enti se obi e wo eduro bi a oto a o pese na bra boy simple nti sika koto aban bond na se wo se on 2035 na owu ana sede
in the summer rabbit
zani ebu man se mintua asem we what be that
it's never happened though
na wo akufuado wo na wo fi aban mu na wo esgracia ye ka say apodi akoye we ni ase yetu aka wo be ye wo de na nipa tumi tene wi ase sa adwene mu be fi ban bi e wo say MPP for be demonstrate akufuado cross obu yi na di from party e say MPP for etumi tena as a party no mkasa akufuado ye yi na di because we bu party no ye de party se acha wo say we gu no obi oto aba bia against Dr. Bamia e akufuado ntia enu ne ma aba no call the way e call MPP for na ye adwuma do ba aba mu no omu sika wo hobby banks ya mo begu ni ankofo sika koke mu bebre enye ndisi for nkwan ya fa party card na hwe ye gu bank na it affects everybody so how it's not me some your campaign I was wondering how do they think they're going to win this election
stay on mama how stay on
Sisifia campaign
how Omampeni one kasa members of parliament na parliament no aye demonstration wo parliament say omo pe finance minister no so obi aboye nti obi a na Ghana wo dia party no wo dia na kufuado kasa no obi esu the whole party MPP na nyom benya no omo enya no party kase say ni nyom so nipa ba
I dey shock the man ni party no
adentia na yen na ye beka bi no ye kan ombedi atem na nka wo maame sika akoka Bank of Ghana say he bonds mu a nka we be o de o man bia nya sika covid time a man bia yusu covid e nya sika